Well, hey guys, Dave here, and I wanted to make this video, and I'm dedicating this video to a friend of mine named Kyle. Kyle is somebody that I work with, and last night we had a really crazy conversation. We have a lot of crazy conversations, but Kyle, he is a extremely devout Christian, and I am an atheist, and I've been an atheist for over 15 years. And I'm in my late 40s and Kyle is in his early 30s. And last night, Kyle was questioning me, like asking me if I'm miserable, if I hate life, if I'm depressed. And I was like, no, I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm probably in one of the most happiest points in my life. You know, I have a wonderful family that I love very much. I have my home. I have a great life. I've got money in the bank. I'm happy, you know. And Kyle, he just can't get it through his mind. He thinks that because I'm an atheist, because I don't have God in my life, that I should be just miserable all the time. And I told him last night, I said, Kyle, I think that you're projecting your feelings onto me, because Kyle is single. He doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't have many friends. He does, even though he works a lot, he just blows his money, so he doesn't really have much money saved aside, you know, because he's always talking about wanting to start a business. But then when I say, well, why don't you do it? He's like, well, I just don't have the money. And he tells me all the time, well, you know, I pray to God, and, you know, if God wants me to do it, then I'll do it. And I told him, I said, Kyle, you know, you just got to, you got to take charge of your own life. You got to quit waiting on God to fix it for you. Because that was something that I learned a long time ago, because I was raised Christian and I was baptized. And I was taught that, you know, you're supposed to pray and suffer and all these things. So for many years of my life, I thought, well, you know, this is just part of it. You know, God's just preparing me. People always say that. God's preparing me. You know, I'm going through these rough times now because God's making me strong. He's refining me in the fire so that, you know, I'll achieve this greatness. And to be honest with you, the thing that changed my life is when I finally decided to say, screw God. I'm going to take charge of my own life. I'm going to quit waiting for somebody to fix it, and I'm going to fix it myself. And that's when I went back to school. Soon after that, I met Cindy, and I have a great life, and I have a family and a home, and I'm happy. I'm really happy. You know, when I was young, I took antidepressants because I was out there trying to do what I thought was right. And, you know, and also I had all this anxiety. You know, as Christians, you're always taught that, you know, oh, the world's going to end. Look for these signs. You know, suffering is a good thing. And, you know, that if something bad's happened to you, it's because, you know, you're being punished. And then I realized that some days good things happen and some days bad things happen. And that's just part of life. And I wish Kyle, like I told him last night, I said, Kyle, you need to take all of that guilt and worry about the end of the world, because he's always talking about the end of the world. You know, I think that's funny for Christians. It seems like Christians, when their lives are going crappy, all they talk about is the end of the world. And because Kyle's life is in the hole, in the shitter, he just wants the world to end. That's all he talks about. You know, we're living in the last days, Dave. We're living in the last days, Dave. And I am 18 years older than Kyle. And I told Kyle last night, I said, dude, they've been saying that the world's going to end since I was a little kid. And it hasn't ended yet. And then this other guy we work with, Drew, he perked up and he said, well, dude, I'm 62. And he goes, they've been saying the world's going to end since I was a little kid, and I'm older than both of y'all. And I just think it's funny. It's like, I think Kyle wants the world to end because his life is so crappy. And I just think that's funny about Christians. And I told him, I said, dude, you're in your 30s, dude. You need to live. You need to quit worrying about the end of the world. And he's always like, oh, I don't want to have sex out of marriage, and I don't want to drink, and I don't want to, you know. I'm like, dude, okay, I'm not saying you got to be an alcoholic, and I'm not saying you got to go out there and screw everybody. but you got to live. You only have one life. Go have fun, dude. He just stresses too much. And you know, that really makes me feel sorry for, I feel sorry for Christians. I wish that they could take that faith that they cling to so strongly and just set it down, man. Just set it down. It's not that big of a deal, dude. Quit worrying about all that garbage. I'm not saying you have to become an atheist like me, but to be honest with you, I am so much happier being an atheist. I don't worry about any of that crap. I don't worry about sin. I don't worry about being punished. I don't worry about hell. I don't worry about none of that crap. I just live my life from day to day. And I have to say, sincerely, truthfully, I am happier being an atheist than I ever was being a Christian. And, you know, because Kyle is such a Christian, he's always focused about politics and all that crap. And, you know, because these days the church is, you know, when you go to church, because Kyle goes to church all the time, you know, they tell you about how everything sucks. You know, Joe Biden's a president and, oh, we're all going to communism, blah, blah, blah. And I told Kyle, I said, dude, you're just one guy. Can you change the world? No. So you got to quit worrying about crap like that. You just need to worry about yourself. Just take care of yourself. Who gives a crap? You know, I was born in 1974, so how many presidents have I seen? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 or so. And I'll tell you right now, it didn't matter if it was Republican who was president or it was a Democrat. My life was what I made of it. The president didn't really affect me. So, you know, I just wanted to make this video for Kyle, and I also wanted to make this for any other Christians that are out there. Now look at yourself in the mirror and look at me. And ask yourself, I'm a Christian. Am I taking a lot of antidepressants? Do I drink a lot? Am I sad all the time? Do I look for the end of the world to come soon because I'm just looking for a way out of my miserable life? And just ask me, are you really happy being a Christian? Because I tell you, as an atheist, I don't take any antidepressants. I don't drink any alcohol. I do smoke cigarettes. I don't do any other drugs. And I'm happy. I have more money in the bank, more love in my life, and more happiness in my life at 48 years old as an atheist than I ever did at 28 years old as a Christian. So this is just to all of my Christian friends. Think about that. Look at yourself and say, you know, I've been praying for years. Is God answering anything? Like, just let me ask you this question, and this is something that I ask myself. Would it have mattered all those years that I prayed if I prayed to a tree or I prayed to some invisible God? Would praying to the tree make things happen faster? Did anything happen when I prayed to God? Because to be honest with you, I can't think of one prayer that was ever answered for me, ever. The only time that my life changed, like I said, is when I took charge of it. You know, and I quit doing prayer. I stopped praying, 20 years ago, man. You know, and I feel sorry for Christians. But, you know, ask yourself, you know, are you on antidepressants? Do you drink a lot? Are you hoping for the end of the world because, you know, life sucks for you? Does your church get you all stressed out about politics and all this BS that really you can't control anyway? You got one vote. What does it matter? You can't change it. Who gives a shit who the president is? You know, they try to get us all riled up for nothing. Who cares? It doesn't matter if Trump's president or Biden's president or whoever's president. My life is still the same. So, you know, we'll quit buying in all that bullshit. And like I told Kyle last night, there's a reason why Jesus referred to his followers as sheep. Because sheep are easily led and they're easily controlled. And I don't want to be a sheep. I want to be me with my thinking brain, my common sense, my critical thinking, and I want to live my life because it's the only one I have. Thank you. This is David. Zoe Zizzles. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.